Hello teachers, this is Haven Daniels, Science Specialist at the Perkins. I'm here to give you an introduction to investigations 13 through 15 and 17. We will also cover the close reading selection for organisms. Finally, we will cover lesson 16, which is the last section of the student learning outcomes document on the Science Weebly. The close reading selection can be found on the BPS Science Weebly site on the Science and Literacy tab. The close reading selection is at the bottom of the page. The document that downloads contains the text of the story, the questions for students, and the answers to the questions. The text of this reading selection can also be found at the end of Lesson 13. Additional information about the story can be found behind tab 7 in your teacher's guide. In Lesson 13, students observe the aquarium and terrarium. How are the two woodland plants alike? How are the freshwater plants alike? Students discuss and record the observations about the plants. Lesson 14 parallels Lesson 13 with a focus now on the animals. You are likely now a Venn diagram expert. Students can also create a graph of how animals move. This can include animals that are not part of the organisms unit. In Lesson 15, students discuss the ways in which all of the organisms they have observed are alike and different. Students create their own Venn diagram in their notebook comparing the organisms. At the end of Lesson 15, students read A Crocodile Comes to the Zoo. They enjoy getting to cut out the images on the last page and gluing them into various images in the story. Lesson 17 is the post-assessment in which students draw a living thing and what it needs to live. You can compare individual student work and the new class lists to what was done in Lesson 1. In Lesson 16, students compare humans to the living things that they have been observing. How are we like them? How are we different? The black line masters at the end of the lesson are fun to use for writing and art projects.